How's it going, everybody? It's Matt again, and we're going to talk about another third-party transformer, this time from SIYANG culture. This is SY-03, and we have 001 Nightwalking or Getsuei, and 002, what was it, Snowfield, or their Yukikaze. These are the first of their two train bots that are coming out. As of right now, we don't really have the greatest images of what this combiner is going to look like afterwards, but I mean, it's legend scale, so I'm really, really excited for it regardless. Legend scale Raiden combiner is awesome, of course, or any legend scale combiner, but dying to have a legend scale Raiden, anyways, especially after as far as I'm concerned, the abject failure of the masterpiece Raiden. Yeah, but yeah, so we got not all that many options right now. But anyways, here's a look at the box because this is a two-pack. Obviously, it comes with the two guys that form the legs. Not too much going on with the box. Just some promos aside. They're there in leg mode, and here's a good image or a CAD render of what he's going to look like when he's all combined. So we'll see how that goes. There is actually no instructions with these guys. There are these QR codes on the side that you just scan them and they take you to some YouTube videos that show you how to transform them. But yeah, so let's take a look at them. And here they are in their train modes. Obviously, they come boxed up in their robot modes, and they don't have any accessories. They come with their guns, but they're actually integrated into the trains, which is really cool. So I'll just show those off when I transform them. But let's take a look at Getsuei first, or Getsuei. I apologize, I'm not Japanese, obviously, so I don't speak Japanese. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, so I'll probably butcher it, of course. But here he's in train mode. I ignore my faction labels that I put on these guys. Obviously, they won't have those. But some really nice paint where it is, anyways. A lot of it's bare plastic, but it is nice where it is. Some nice sculpt work on it. Looks pretty good. Not too panely, which is a good thing. There, the top. The bottom looks pretty good. Nothing too obvious. Obviously, there's some robot mode bits, and there's where the weapons will store on these guys. But yeah, and then let's take a look at Yukikaze. I think this is Yukikaze. I might have them mixed up. I think this was Yukikaze. But yeah, the paint is a little kind of like overblown on some of the white parts, but that's just probably because it's on lighter plastic. That's pretty common. But underside, same thing. And these guys pretty much transform the exact same way. They just have different shells around them. But yeah, it's a little bare here on the back. There's like no detail on the back, whereas on this one, at least there's a little bit. So would have liked to have had something on there. But yeah, panel wants to come apart. But yeah, some nice sculpt work. I should also mention these guys were produced out of Magic Square's factory, so they do have that kind of like nylon type of plastic. It's not like Magic Square's like earlier, like really flexible nylon, but it is definitely that softer type of plastic. I personally prefer that type of plastic for small figures because it's less likely for the stuff like this to break, especially when it's got like a lot of flaps and stuff and like dovetail connection points and stuff. So it definitely I think benefits the figure. And I apologize for any noise in the background. My cat just refuses to leave the room, so she might be just making noise. But yeah. There they are. I mean, there's oh, I did forget to mention there are wheels on the bottom. I don't know if these will fit on any types of model train tracks. They probably will. I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't know what scale trains these actually are. I don't collect scale trains, but they may or may not fit on tracks. So because they all have these wheels, but Yeah. So let's just jump right into a transformation. I'm only going to do one of them because they do transform exactly the same. But they do have like minor differences, so I'll do that separately. But we'll go over this one first. So to get started, what we're going to do is these little flaps here are attached here at the bottom or here at the top, and they're attached inside here. So we're going to have to kind of lift off of here and pull down a little bit. I'm sorry, they're not attached up here. They're attached back here. But just kind of pull off of here so they detach from that little peg. And then they're going to flip out from right here. And the peg is attached to the top panel here, and they're attached inside right here. So you gotta kind of flex it a bit, make sure that is out. And then just kind of pull it off of that tab and then kind of pull it down and out at the same time to get it off of here. Again, that's why I think that flexible plastic is good, because I would be scared doing that on like hard plastic. But you're just going to bring this down, and then this is just going to flip up, rotate this part in, and then flip it back down like this, and then this is going to peg in to this piece here, like that. Same thing on the other side, pull this down, kind of pull up on this, flex down, this whole thing comes down, that goes up, that goes down, fits in that little slot, and pegs in like that. And then this section here, or actually let's do this section up here. You might need a spudger for this part, because it's kind of hard for me to get out anyways. This little spot right here, you just kind of pull down on this tab, and on these two joints, this just kind of flips out of the way. And then this part right here, just separate from those two little pegs, bring this up, and then we're just going to kind of put this out to the side for now. And then up here for the front part of the train, this section here is just going to separate from these two pegs, and then this whole thing will just rotate around and sit like this. And then these, on these little dovetails here, will pull out from there on either side, and we'll kind of lift off of these two little pegs and then wrap around to the side here, and then the little train wheels will just kind of angle in like this. So out of the way, angle in. And then the gun is just stored right here on that little hole, so we can take that out and set it aside. And this entire thing here is on a 3 swivel piece, so it'll just kind of come down on the one hinge, come back up, and then angle down like this, and then that little peg right here is going to go into the hole in that section, and then just kind of push down on here. Make sure that this is out of the way, like that, so it can actually properly collapse. So that's how it's going to look. And then down here, or up here, we're going to take a look at the arms. So you're just going to kind of push them in to pull them off of these tabs here, and then lift the forearm parts out like this. And then from here, you're going to kind of pull off of there and pull off of here. Like I said, a lot of flexing this plastic to get these out of here, but pull it off of here. And then this whole section is going to rotate up on this little post right here, what will be below the shoulder. And then this forearm will just kind of rotate out like this, and then the whole shoulder will come out on this hinge right here. So same thing here, we're going to kind of rotate the panel up, rotate the forearm out, rotate this down, and we're just going to kind of get the arms out of the way for now. And then for the torso section here, we're going to take this whole assembly here, pull this up, rotate that around, and then these guys are going to come down on this hinge, rotate out, and then peg in up here. So rotate out, peg in up here. Then for these two panels right here, they're going to come down and just sit over the shoulders, and then the head is going to just pull out, and I struggle to get these small pieces out. There we go. Whole head is just going to lift out like this, and then you're going to want to put the head back like this for clearance, because this whole chest piece is going to come up, peg in, and then this panel is going to come down and lock this in place. Then you can just bring the head back down. And then for the remainder part of the legs, we're just going to lift up these panels here, pull these panels down, and then this entire thing is just going to split like this so that you have clearance to rotate just the lower section here around 300 or 180 degrees. And then we can just put these panels down, put these front panels down, and collapse it back like that. And then we're just going to split the legs, and then under here, this is the little crotch piece. You're going to undo from that little peg here on this ball joint, and then you're going to have to kind of work it around the leg part right here. Come on, camera. Rotate it around, and then it's going to peg back into the front right here. And then this back panel here, we can just put that up and out of the way. And then there's the legs done. And then for the hands here, just going to open up this panel and pull these out. Could have done that sooner, obviously, but I forgot. And there he is. There is Getsuei, or Getsuei. So there he is. And then obviously he can hold the gun that came out of the train. But there he is. And the only part I'm going to show on this transformation, I'll do the rest off screen, but his transformation up here at the front is a little bit different. So the actual front part of the train, you just pull up and it comes off these two tabs. And then you just kind of have to, just kind of lift it off of there for now. And then these little dovetails, push out on those and just kind of pull up to get them up and out of the way. And then the whole thing will just kind of separate here. And then there is a little peg right here that you kind of have to push in and out at the same time to get it to free off of that, because there's two hinges here where this whole thing will just kind of come out like this on this little L bracket, and they'll set out to the side, and then you can just angle the wheel part in. And same thing on the other side. It can be a little tricky, but there you go. Kind of push the front here, push that out and pull in at the same time while pulling off of this. But just bring it out again like that and bring the wheels in. And then this whole nose section just rotates around and then just sits right like that. And then obviously gun comes off of here, and then this will just collapse down here just like it did on him. So that's the only difference with this one. And there is Yukikaze, all transformed as well. So yeah, take a look at both of them. They both look pretty good, in my opinion. I mean, they're definitely chonky. They're a lot chonkier than I think other representations that we've had of them. But hey, I think it works. They look real nice from the side. I think they clean up pretty good. They do have some stuff going on the back, but train kibble, I suppose. It's not that big a deal to me. And same thing with the other one. Just got quite a bit of kibble on the back, but I think they're pretty good for this size. But individually, get a closer look at like his face. I think their faces and proportions look pretty good. That's what their guns, and their guns are different from each other. They're not the same thing. They are unique. But they don't really share that many pieces, honestly, I don't think. Like even the forearms are different. Like every little thing on them is like a separate detail or something, so they hardly share any parts at all. I think they're just very they're just remolds of each other. So that's pretty neat. Here we go. Get a look at him and his face. And look at its detail all around. So yeah, pretty neat little figures. But let's go over articulation for just one of them. I'll have to go ahead and take his gun out so I can show. Head is on a ball joint, so you can do whatever you need to. And for the shoulders here, you can't really access that joint anymore because this panel's covering it. But you have a ball joint here for the arms, and you can get that whatever way you need to. You're limited by this extra like train kibble back here, so you can't do like a true, 360 degrees. But you do have a joint down here below the shoulder, so you can get 360 degrees on that. And this panel here can actually flip out on this hinge, so you can get it out of the way for posing. He does have a double jointed elbow, so you can get all the way up, or almost all the way up. And then it is a hinged wrist, or just rotating wrist on a peg, so you can get 360 degrees on that. Down here at the waist, we don't have an ab crunch. We do have a waist swivel, but you have to be able to get this back panel past the backpack here. But it does have a 360 degree waist swivel. All these panels for the skirting here, they all move out of the way. This one doesn't move too much, so you can get the legs to move out all the way on this ball joint, forwards all the way, and you can't really get too far back just because of that panel, but you have it. There's a joint down here below or in the thigh, so you can get 360 degrees on that. And he does have a single jointed leg or single jointed knee, but it'll only get you about 90 degrees. And as far as the feet, there is an ankle rocker, so you can get as much as you need there, I think. So pretty good posability on them too. Nothing different on the other ones. The exact same thing. Pretty much the same limitations here with the back, but that's really about it. I'm not going to go over the combine mode into the legs. I'm going to just wait and do that until we have the whole set, so I won't be doing that in this video. Okay, size comparison time. So let's start with, how about just like a Carbot sized transformer. Here is Magic Square's Hound. So they're pretty big. Here is, how about a New Age Constructicon. There's Bone Crusher. And why not, we'll move Bone Crusher back over here. We'll do Magic Square's Optimus, so you can see. But yeah, they're a bit larger as far as like base combiner bots. So I wonder if Radiant's going to be a little bit bigger than our other combiners. I don't have any of the Combaticons or the Constructicons for Magic Square transformed right now, but I can tell you they're a little bit shorter than them. So they're actually pretty big for combiner component bots. And there we have it for SIYANG Culture's Nightwalking and Snowfield. First of their two train bots. And yeah, these guys are fantastic. I really like these guys. Obviously, I really like Legend Scale Combiners, of course. I love their combiner teams. And I love that. I actually do really like Magic Square is collaborating on these guys. You can definitely see some of their engineering in there. And some, obviously, with their materials and stuff too, makes for some really good, nice and playable figures. But yeah, they're pretty good bang for your buck too. I mean, these guys weren't too expensive, especially for two fairly high quality figures. But as far as like my only really complaints with them, I guess, is that they are a little on the chunkier side, as compared to like what the characters are supposed to look like, quote unquote supposed to. I mean, they're maybe they're not quite as accurate to the cartoon models, but I mean, hey, they're probably one of the better, if not the best, train bots that I think that we've gotten so far, and the only Legend Scale train bots that we've gotten so far. So. Win for me, in my opinion. But they got quite a bit of kibble on them, which is just kind of, it kind of is what it is. It doesn't really bother me too much. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm really really excited to see how this combiner team turns out. The CAD images that are on the actual box for their Thunderbolt combiner or whatever for their Raiden. I'm kind of worried about how like the hips are gonna work for it. I hope they redesign that because it looks like he's got some pretty itty bitty thighs for the chunky legs that these guys are going to be. So we will have to see. We haven't seen any physical prototypes of the whole thing yet, so we'll just kind of wait and see what that ends up looking like. But I think that's going to do it for these guys. If you want to give me a follow, check out my link tree down below. You can see my Patreon if you want to swing by there and check out any of my model kits that I'm making for like Armored Core stuff. But of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, comment, check out some of my other reviews. Of course, I'm going to be getting all of these as they release so I can finish up this combiner team. So just keep an eye out for that. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.